You can go, madam.
Thank you, esteemed members of the committee, for allowing me to appear in front of you today. Thank you for taking the time to review this bill, listen to experts, and understand what is really happening. I'm not a medical professional or a scientist. Therefore, I'll leave the medical and scientific aspects of this argument to those more qualified. On behalf of the Canadian Immunodeficiencies Patient Organization, I'm here today representing the 30,000 Canadians living with primary immunodeficiency disease, or PI. I myself am a patient, and I depend on a plasma-derived product to live. I would like to state that CIPO is not affiliated with any company currently compensated donors in Canada. CIPO does receive industry funding, which we disclose publicly. The suggestion or assumption that any individual funder or funds can influence or sway CIPO's board or staff from its mandate is false. As a patient, current executive director, and someone who has dedicated the last decade and a half to patient advocacy, I find any accusation otherwise hurtful and petty. There's been a lot of news about measles outbreaks recently. Like most people, I was inoculated as a child. However, unlike most people, I did not mount a response to it. What should be simple, everyday things like going to the grocery store or taking your child swimming become terrifying and life-threatening. Unfortunately, this is the world that PI patients live in. Our only hope is the lifelong reliance on plasma-based medicinal product immune globulin replacement therapy, or IG. 35% of the world's plasma is used to treat PI patients. IG therapy is the only course of treatment for the majority of PI patients. There is no alternative. Science and technology has nothing in the pipeline for us. There's no biologic, generic, recombinant alternative coming. Science and research have brought us here. Whether given intravenously in hospital every 3 to 4 weeks or at home under the skin 1 to 4 times a week, PI patients across Canada rely on IG therapy for a number of reasons. These include to reduce the number of infections or reduce the severity of infections, to reduce the number of hospitalizations or increase your quality of life, or to increase your life expectancy. Currently, Canada, through Canadian Blood Services, only collects enough plasma to supply 14% of our needs. With no change to how they are currently collecting, that number will drop to 10% by 2021. As you know, the vast majority of Canada's plasma needs are met on the global market, with a large dependence on the United States. Canada currently purchases 45 brands, costing the provinces a total of over $600 million a year and rising. These products are made with plasma collected from compensated donors. CBS's current business plan, not yet approved by the provinces, hopes to increase Canada's plasma supply to 50% sufficiency with regards to IG requirements in 5 to 8 years. CBS has stated they are committed to an unpaid voluntary donor model. In order to achieve this goal, CBS will need to recruit between 200 to 600,000 new plasma donors. This will be in addition to the ongoing recruitment of 100,000 new whole blood donors needed each year. We're aware that CBS have an exemption to compensate in the proposed bill in special circumstances. However, it is vital that this committee understands this is not a one-off urgency. We're hearing terms like challenge, strain, and disruption in regards to IG supply currently, and this is scary. No one wants to use the term shortage and panic everyone. However, there is agreement of a looming IG supply crisis. IG demand continues to outpace collection and fractionation. Unlike conventional medication, it takes roughly 18 months from collection to fractionation to finished product. When there's a shortage, there's no whipping up a new batch quickly. The demand for IG is growing in Canada on an average of 10% per year over the last 5 years. We want to see CBS's plan succeed, and will do what we can to work and support CBS going forward. However, we believe that their plan is currently, as it stands, it's ambitious, not cost-effective, and is unlikely to succeed without compensation in some format. The idea of compensation for a donor is not new and is practiced in Canada and around the world, even in countries that have outlawed paid donations. The European Commission to the European Parliament felt it important to distinguish between compensation and incentive when discussing blood and plasma donors. In this somewhat arbitrary and unclear distinction, More than half the EU member states compensate donors in the form of time off work and reimbursement for travel costs. While the amount varies by country between 25 to 40 euro, as does the time between half a day to 2 full days, the principle of compensation remains the same. Another popular form of compensation among 24 EU member states is a small thank you gift for their donation. Ranging in price between 1 and 10 euro, gifts can include movie tickets, festival passes, free events, t-shirts, mugs, towels, meal vouchers, and museum passes. One country also reported a small tax deduction equal to 10 euro per donation up to 50 euro per year. As Canadians, we like to pride ourselves on our altruistic giving. In reality, only roughly 3% of the adult population are blood donors. The truth is, when we in Canada hear the term paid plasma, an image is immediately conjured of an American way of conducting things where cash is handed over for blood. This could not be further from the truth. Similar to the EU model, donors are compensated for their time. Donors are most often given reimbursement on specialty debit cards or rewards cards between $20 and $50. This direct payment from the clinic, rather than reimbursement through the employer or health insurer as in the EU model, is the cause for the cash for blood furor. These compensations are reimbursing donors for their time, and it is time-consuming. Donating plasma can take up to 2 hours. The US currently supplies over 70% of the world's plasma supply, and it is feeling the global strain. Emerging Asian markets and growing global demand is revealing mounting pressure. Starting in 2018, patients have reported product unavailable at pickup. This is happening in the US, the UK, Romania, South Africa, and could soon happen here. It has taken CBS 20 years to build their whole blood donor base. We do not have 20 years to wait while they build their plasma donor base. We urge this committee to consider the long-term ramifications to patients who depend on plasma products if this bill is passed. We hope that this committee will do anything they can to avoid serious health complications and deaths in the future. We urge you to oppose this legislation. Thank you.
Thank you.